All right, can you guys hear me now? Jeez. Of course, I thought I had everything set up, and then of course I have some tech issues. Jesus. Can you guys hear me now? Wow, that was a complete fail on my part. I should just almost start the whole show over again. Yes, we have the microphone actually clicked in now, so that's great. But what's going on? It's I have trouble connecting here now. Yay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I wonder if some of my settings got mixed up or whatever. I know that literally like 2 seconds ago I was rendering something. Anyways, whatever. We're talking now. You guys can hear me. What's going on? I was saying, it's my 3-year anniversary here on YouTube. This is crazy and whatnot. Thank you everyone that's joining in. What's going on? I was curious. My question, obviously, I was talking to myself. What's everyone been up to? What's everyone been watching? Staying busy. Kind of what have you been up to this last week? I mean, for myself, I was saying, and I don't know if the mic was picking it up. Hey, what's going on, Samuel? I don't know if I was saying, I was streaming some Battlefront 2 on PlayStation 4 last night, trying to set up my whole new rig, I guess. I mean, behind me, there's actually like a TV and my PlayStation now over here, so I might be doing some more streaming coming up in the future, I guess. Just kind of, changing things up a little bit and whatnot. Yeah, we got some people here in the chat. Cody, Seth, Sam, Mark. What's going on, everybody? I just watched Upload on Amazon Prime. I was very curious about that because I think it was yesterday or the day before, I saw a trailer for it or a clip, and it looked so weird and goofy. Like, is it an afterlife, but they're shooting ads on you, like at you, or... I don't know. Again, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but it looks weird. It looks crazy. Rewatched Inception. Been doing some writing, listening to music. It sounds like you guys have been staying busy, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna have whatever I was rendering. I'm gonna have to add to the show rundown later in the show. But obviously, you guys can see the sidebar over right there. We're going to get into the quickies in a little bit, but then I didn't know what to have as the main topic because there wasn't any really big news. I mean, I threw the Nic Cage as Tiger King up there as the main news. It's kind of more of just a talking point. But then I have a funny video for you guys and some advice, how to review a movie, and then some throwback clips because I've been doing this for 3 years. It's my 3-year anniversary today on YouTube. My very first review was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I posted for some people to check out. Some people liked it. It's just weird. Going back and looking at how much I've grown, essentially, not just like looks or whatever, but just being able to talk on camera, the technology, all the weird stuff that I've added to the channel. But I still remember like that very first review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is actually the second review I did because I filmed one right before it, sat down, and 5 minutes into editing, I was like, this is complete crap. I can do better. So whatever you're seeing in that review, that is better than the first one, which I think is even funnier. Yeah. We were all pretty bad in the... Yeah, I hope, you know what, Cody, thank you. Hopefully I'm gaining some sort of, something with my age. I know that you're growing your mustache out, and I'm trying to keep up. I might leave this and look like a pedophile, hang around schools and whatnot. I probably shouldn't say that on the internet. What was your first, Mark? My very first review was Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it was Guardians of the Galaxy. The review that's actually on my channel is the second recording of that review. It's pretty crazy. It's weird. It's not great. Obviously, in the throwback clips, I threw together kind of a highlight reel of my very first year on YouTube. So it's going to be funny to go through some of those clips and whatnot. But without further ado, I guess we can just jump right into the news and everything. Hopefully I have everything set up. I'm trying to do a few different things this week. Let me add that clip for later on in the show quick. My first review was Get Out. That's a good review to start with, Tyler. Unfortunately for myself, I saw that movie and it was spoiled before I went into the movie, so it wasn't great. Believe me, I love the movie, but it was unfortunate because again, it was spoiled for me going into the show. All right, I think I have everything set up finally. Okay, boom. Okay, we are doing this. Okay, let's get into and what is the new segment known as the Quickies. What's up, guys? Jared here yet again with I think something weird happened there. I don't know what's going on this week. Let me try that again. I'm going back into the Quickies. All right, there we go. Way better. I'm completely off my game tonight. I know that I had two things clipped there and whatnot, but let's get into our news segment. Some quickies, some news segments that aren't really going to make the biggest headlines, but they're movie news, this week. We have Extraction. Extraction 2, Netflix movie. It came out about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Chris Hemsworth, the Russo, or one of the Russos, or both of them producing, one of them writing, and then Sam Hargrave doing the action stunts and everything. Apparently, the numbers on Netflix are out of this world, I guess. I don't know. Either way, apparently Extraction 2 is on the way. Let me know in the chat if you watched Extraction and really enjoyed it and do want to see a sequel, but apparently there is a sequel on the way. I hate to say it, but I don't personally, for myself, I didn't think it was a great movie, but it's also this weird thing where I didn't think it was a great movie, but for Netflix, it's good, and I don't want to ever have to, I want to move away from that, where it's like, oh, well, it's a Netflix movie, so it's okay, but if it was in the theaters, it wouldn't have been so great. I mean, it's kind of your run-of-the-mill action movie. I mean, there was that 12-minute, I want to know how he lives. Spoilers, people. Spoilers. I mean, it has an awesome action set piece in the middle of the movie. 12, 15 minutes, something like that. That's kind of what people keep talking about. So I'm curious if they're going to hopefully bump up the character, bump up the story, kind of bump up everything that was maybe lacking a little bit in that first movie. And again, I'm curious if it's going to go with a sequel, if it's going to go with a prequel, if it's going to go a completely different character in this world. I'm just curious. I mean, the action was awesome in the movie, but I don't know what else the film really had going for it. Yes, Sam, you are correct. I'm going to agree with you. You said it's pretty good, but a sequel is very unnecessary. I would say that too. I don't see a sequel being that great. Obviously, they do leave a few breadcrumbs in there that, there is a potential sequel. There is a little bit more from this. I mean, coming from Netflix, action, Netflix, Chris Hemsworth, the Russos. I'm curious what the casual fan really thinks about this movie. I'm really curious. But yeah, Extraction 2. If you are excited for Extraction, Extraction 2 is coming your way. Next up, we have, I know someone in the chat is going to be happy about this. We have Tom Cruise is in the news, and we have Tom Cruise is apparently wanting to shoot a film in space. So Elon Musk, SpaceX, and NASA, and Tom Cruise are all getting together And apparently this is going to be the first feature-length film completely filmed in space. I think that this is obviously, right off the bat, it's a gimmick, but if they do it, I think that it's going to be absolutely freaking bonkers. Like, the first thing I thought was, is it going to be Mission Impossible? No, they're not. It's not Ethan Hunt. He's not going to the moon. He's not doing any of that. I think that this is going to be its own kind of movie, you know, one-off type movie. And I also joked, and I was like, oh, maybe it's going to be a Fast and Furious movie. But no, it sounds like they're going to somehow get Tom Cruise up there, which, you know, he's probably the one that went to these people, because Elon Musk is absolutely bonkers and weird and crazy. Tom Cruise is an adrenaline junkie. He probably just went in there and was like, take me to space. We're going to space. We're going to space. So yeah, Tom Cruise going to space, filming a movie in space. I'm curious what it's going to be, though, because if it's just in a spaceship or a space station, I mean, you can do, there's, like, I'm trying to think, Life, that Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, almost like Venom prequel movie. That's the kind of movie that I think they would probably film with this. Dorito, Chip Gamer, what's going on? Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, Tom Cruise is gonna go find that car that he shot into space, and that's gonna be the movie. Are you guys excited to see this essentially space-only film with Tom Cruise? I mean, Tom Cruise is crazy. He's getting a little older. I'm curious on when he's not gonna be able to do these action movies anymore. But I don't know. I'm curious to see it. I'm curious if it's gonna be a gimmick, or if it's actually going to be a well-made film and everything. I mean, they don't have any writers, directors, anything like that. Like, who as a director is going to want to... I mean, space would be cool to go into, but are you going to be like, yeah, I want to be the guy to go into space and film this movie, blah, blah, blah. I think that it should be a thing. They just honestly hook up the spaceship with just a bunch of GoPros and then just go, and then they try to piece it together later. I think it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what the chat has to say. Yeah, Cody, the budget is going to be absolutely insane. I would love to see what the budget is. 2001 for the first time. Oh, 2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah, great space movie there, Dorito Chip. Yeah, unfortunately, Mark, I kind of have to agree with you. Tom Cruise, in these later years, especially that last Mission Impossible where he exploded his leg, like, on that stunt, he's getting too old to be doing this stuff. I mean, I love to see him do these action set pieces and everything, but he's definitely getting old and getting up there. Shifting over to Sony news, I think this is a little bit old news. I know that people on Twitter, people that are comic book fans, were up in arms about this, or not up in arms, they were more making fun of it. So Sony, you know, there's the MCU, Sony, everyone wants their own use, like CU, cinematic universe. You know, there was the Dooku, the Dark Universe that completely bit the dust, but now Sony is putting together their own universe with Venom, Morbius, and kind of Spider-Man, I guess, and they're calling it the SPUMC, which is maybe the worst acronym ever, or Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters. Personally, for myself, I don't know what you guys have to say about this whole Sony universe just being absolutely weird and crazy. I personally think that they could have just called it the Venomverse. I mean, you get that nice alliteration with the VV. You already have Venom apparently being the main character, unless you're going to have Spider-Man come in and swoop in and take the lead. But I think that that is just a redonkulous title for it. You know, the SPUMC. No one's going to be like, oh, do you love watching the SPUMC movies? Whatever. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. That's aside from the point. Sony, if you are listening and you need someone on your marketing team, I am available. Let me know. My people can talk to your people. Because right now in that universe, like I said, it's only Venom. It's going to be Venom 2 and then Morbius and maybe Spider-Man if there's going to be multiple timelines like they apparently introduced in Endgame or hinted at. I don't know. Yeah, Cody, I agree with what you're saying. I'm curious how they're going to do it if and when Tom Holland gets out of there and everything like that. Because if and when he bounces out, they don't keep Spider-Man around for 30 more years. They're absolutely reeling that character back, and then they're going to be like, you're the forefront of this SPUMC, which that's the thing. If they called it Venomverse, there's a reason they did that, because Spider-Man probably wouldn't be the forefront, but they want to have that Marvel name on there to really get the people into the theater for these, box office superhero type comic book movies. Let's shift over, and I have a fun thing, talking about superheroes and everything like that. The New Mutants. The New Mutants, there's absolutely no release date for this, but there was some news about this. So 4 or 5 new images of the New Mutants came out, and it's just perplexing. I'm very confused. I have no idea what's going on. But these images get me very excited. Like, I've been waiting for this movie. I know you guys in the chat have probably been waiting for this movie. Yes, Mark, the Spider-Verse would have been a great title for it. But the New Mutants, I did a trailer reaction for this movie in 2017, and this movie hasn't come out, but looking at these images, these look cool. You get some, like, creepy, almost, like, sinister-looking creature. You have, I believe that's Magic, and she's going into the Limbo universe, where I guess she was born. I did a little bit of research before this, and then some weird bubbles and a few other characters, and obviously the big bad demon bear going up against it. I mean, I don't know what they're waiting for this movie. The angry fleshlight. Everything in these images looks so goddamn cool. But why? Where's the movie and everything like that? Like, I'm curious on when we're going to get this movie, because these images were released in, I guess, via Cinfax, which is like a special effects magazine. I don't know, maybe people that worked on this movie have the movie on their hard drives or home computers, and they're just still working on it. I'm curious on what the hell is going on with that. But then another bit of news is this movie, I believe last night, I checked today and it's no longer listed, but last night it was listed on Amazon Prime, and you could buy it or at least pre-order it for $24 or $25.99, I believe. So why was this movie listed as to purchase? I mean, it didn't say rent or buy, but I don't think a $25 movie is going to be rental. That would be more of a buy now type feature. Yeah, Seth, it is down now. I checked a little bit earlier. But it's curious. It's like, does Amazon have the inside scoop, or are they just like, you know what, we're just going to throw it up. The movie's going to come out eventually. People are going to pre-order it. Let's get that going. Anya Taylor-Joy versus some sort of demon ghost wolf. Yeah, I don't know. Even if it's not a great movie, I just want to see what the hell it looks like, because I am so curious about what is going on in this movie. I think that's the biggest thing, is everyone has been waiting so long for this movie to figure out what the hell is going on with it and everything. So yeah, that's those images and everything. Weird stuff. Let's see, what else do we have for the rundown of stuff? Oh, just a quick news story. I don't have any graphics for it, but it came out last week, and I didn't have time to talk about it. But I guess Seth Rogen has a movie that's coming to HBO Max. It's the HBO Max is releasing on May 27th, I believe, and it's called An American Pickle, and it's a movie. I don't know, I just have to talk about it. I guess Seth Rogen falls into a vat of pickles and then wakes up 100 years later in modern day. So it's like 1920s, falls into pickles, wakes up in today's world. I don't know, I guess it's comedy. I'm looking forward to it. Sounds so weird, of a guy called the American Pickle. Seth Rogen, I'm down for that, for sure. Yesterday was Star Wars Day, May the 4th, all of that stuff. So we have some Star Wars news that came out. There was the last episode of Clone Wars. I don't watch that. Then Rise of Skywalker is on Disney Plus. But some Star Wars news. Both Robert Rodriguez and also Peyton Reed are announced as directors for The Mandalorian Season 2. So if you're into directing or any sort of their style, because that's the thing, is they're going to have to stay within the grasps or the lane of what The Mandalorian has done already, but I'm sure they're going to add their own little flavor. I mean, Robert Rodriguez, you're not going to see Machete show up and just murder people, which that would be wild to see. But yeah, you know, got a couple new directors or announced directors for season 2 of The Mandalorian 2. And I was going through, and Peyton Reed, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp, but he also directed 2000's greatest hit, Bring It On. So I'm very much, you know, get some of that Bring It On flavor into The Mandalorian. Yeah, give Machete a lightsaber. I could see him being some sort of bounty hunter that they run into, which I would be down for, because I know that these directors are bringing people that they've worked with into the fold for this movie. Very curious on how that's all going to play out. But also some other Star Wars news aside from The Mandalorian Season 2 and some of the directors there. I don't know. Does anyone, please in the chat, let me know if you guys, if there's a release date for The Mandalorian Season 2. I don't think there is. I want to say it's probably November again, but I don't think that there is. But then also Taika Waititi, you know, he did a couple episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1. His episodes were very good. Also, he you know, Jojo Rabbit, Thor Ragnarok. Like, this guy is on a roll. He was announced, I believe, yesterday that he is now directing a Star Wars movie, which is awesome. It's just one movie, which I'm glad that they're not like, hey, this is going to be the Taika Waititi trilogy. And I don't know if they've given any details on what kind of movie he's doing. I guess the co-writer is Christy Wilson Carnes. She's co-writing it with him. For myself, I don't know if I don't know what they have in store, but I would love what he did in The Mandalorian. I want the movie to be about bounty hunters going on a bounty, doing some job, butting heads, getting these crazy characters, and opening up a completely new world of Star Wars that we get people interested in. Like, the two things I compared it to or want in this movie is the opening of The Dark Knight, like all of those clown or criminals kind of working together. I want that feel with bounty hunters, but I also want the vibe of Star Wars 1313, that Star Wars video game that was, I guess, halted or completely canceled. Like, they had a bunch of stuff done where they're going down into the lower levels of Coruscant. I want that. Like, basically, I want, like, 5 bounty hunters to go down into, like, the bottom levels of Coruscant and just kick some ass. Like, that's what I would love to see of this movie. But Taika Waititi, I mean, I trust him. He's amazing. What he's done so far is fantastic. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Okay, yeah, Mark, you were saying that there's some Fox contracts dealing with the New Mutants, so that makes sense. Machete with a lightsaber, absolutely, man. Machete with that. Give me all the guest directors. Yeah, Cody, I absolutely agree. Also, Star Wars, give me that Taika Waititi. And Seth, thank you for The Mandalorian Season 2, October. That definitely helps my schedule, so thank you so much for adding that. Are you guys more excited for this? Who knows when the release date is of this Taika Waititi film, but are you more excited for the Taika Waititi film, or are you more excited for The Mandalorian Season 2? I'm curious which one you guys are excited for. Of even more comedic Star Wars. Yeah, Cody. I'm curious, could Taika pull off an even more comedic Star Wars? Yeah, I know that some of the humor in this latest trilogy didn't land, but I mean, he is just a he's a funny guy. He knows comedy. He knows what he's doing with that. And yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. You know what? Let's throw it to a commercial break, and then I have a couple more stories, including the Nic Cage story. So let's go to our first commercial break, and then we'll come back. Can you guess the movie poster? It's 2002's The New Guy. Looking for the best electronics in town? Head down to Bob Lyons Electronics. At Bob Lyons, our prices are wild.
Ooh-wee! Bob Lyon here from Bob Lyons Electronics, and you see this 32-inch Panasonic TV at $199, we're slashing that down to $179. What about this Sony Walkman EX1WM at $80? We're gonna give that one to you for $74. What about this Motorola Pager at $135? We're gonna give it to you for $120 with 3 months free financing. Or this Panasonic video cassette player at a whopping $320. We're slashing that price. We're killing that price down to $270 just for you. Remember, I'm Bob Lyons. Head down to Bob Lyons Electronics today because all prices are wild.
Located at the corner of Walnut and Cherry, prices shown do not include taxes, rebates, or any other additions. Items may or may not have fallen off of a truck. Legally binding disclaimer, shop Bob Lyons.
So sit back and relax as we explain this 2002 horror film, The Ring. Oh,
to do some more investigating, only to scare a horse half to death. Actually, it was more full to death because it jumped off the ferry and was eaten up by the propellers.
The fire hose is still attached. Take a look. Alright guys, we are back. We're back with some more news and whatnot, and we can obviously get into the Nic Cage is the Tiger King in just a little bit, but one more news story that I want to throw it over to is, hold on one sec, is, have you guys seen this? So there was this new, Lovecraft Country. It was a trailer that showed up over on HBO, and it's coming out in August. Like, I saw this trailer, and apparently it's like the Lovecraftian creatures and lore mixed in with, like, 1950s, I guess, Jim Crow. Like, the first trailer came out. It's produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw, Bad Robot, and Warner Brothers. Like, this looks absolutely crazy with all of these weird creatures. And apparently, like, the synopsis is, let's see here, Lovecraft Country follows Atticus Black as he joins up with his friend Letitia and Uncle George to embark on a road trip across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of his missing father, then begins to struggle to survive, dealing with both these like terrifying Lovecraftian creatures and also racism in America. Like, just these images that came out in the trailer. I don't know, did any of you guys see the teaser trailer or anything, or even hear about this show? I'm not a big TV person, but this show, I am very much intrigued about what is going on in this Lovecraft Country. Because, yeah, it looks like, you know, it's a mystery. I wouldn't say kind of a thriller, but, you know, they're looking for his missing father. But then you get these creepy, again, Lovecraftian creatures thrown into the mix. Very, very curious. Cody, I don't know if you saw it, or Seth, or Mark, or any of you guys in the chat had seen this trailer. And I only threw a couple of the clips up there. I didn't want to get essentially copyright strike or copyright for that. But yeah, I am HBO Max. They know what they're doing. This is crazy stuff, and it looks awesome. Looks fantastic. Oh wow, I did not know that. Wow, that's funny. H.P. Lovecraft was apparently a white supremacist. Oh shit! Wow, that is, I love, you know what, that makes me want to watch this even more because it's just a huge slap to the face, and I love it. But also with Peele and also Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams' production company being behind this, I have full faith in this. I believe it's coming out on August, or there's not a date. I believe it's coming August 2020, though. Very, very, very excited for it. I mean, it looks cool. It looks creepy. I did a little bit of research, too, kind of just Lovecraftian creatures earlier, and just Google image that if you're looking for any sort of weird creatures that are going to be in this show. There's a lot of weird stuff, that's for sure. Lots and lots of weird stuff in that. All right, let's switch over. All right, I wouldn't say our main topic, but one of the main topics. I needed a headline. Tiger King. We have Tiger King here. Nicolas Cage will put all that chaotic energy to good use, playing the one and only Joe Exotic. I know Tiger King, the thing is, it was about a month ago now, I think. That was like all the craze. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, that weird guy that's running a cult with women with fake breasts and all that stuff. But yeah, this is a fantastic casting, I would say. I mean, aside from, I think that they were kind of saying, Dax Shepard, they were saying that he could be one or be cast as him, or David Spade or something like that. But I think Nicolas Cage is probably the best bet at this. I guess that there's two dueling TV shows for this. There's one featuring, let's see here, Joe Exotic and Nic Cage, and I believe that it's the people behind like American Horror Story and stuff like that. But then there's also a Carol Baskins focused series focused on Kate McKinnon. Let's see here, Variety, blah blah blah. A surprise is Cage's casting. Man, try to say that 10 times fast. I think that he's gonna be perfect, because if he can go into his weird area, because you know Nic Cage or have seen his movies, he can get weird, especially the last few years, especially with like Mandy and whatnot. Very curious about that. Yeah, you know what we're Ryan from What Were You Watching? Yeah, if he goes for his voice, that is going to completely, I would say, make or break the character, because he had such a weird kind of redneck voice to him. It's weird. Did you guys like Tiger King, or was this kind of more of a cultural phenomenon at the time, you know, like a month ago? I watched that like extra episode, or that interview episode. It didn't really jump out at me. But yeah, it just sounds like, you know, Cage is going to be in this exotic zookeeper, Oklahoma, just kicking ass, being weird and whatnot. So I think that that's kind of crazy about old Nic Cage as Joe Exotic. I don't know. I mean, okay, if you watched Tiger King and you really enjoyed it, are you going to go and watch another TV show? Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm missing the best part. The people, in addition to Cage's casting, Variety notes that the American Vandal writer will serve as writer, showrunner, and executive producer. That makes me even more excited, because American Vandal was like, they took this concept of, you know, like a true crime, like making a murder essentially, but completely steered into satire, but they kept it in a serious tone. So if that's what they're going to do, if that's what they're going to do with this show, is get the American Vandal team on board, and make it like serious, but also have the complete wackiness from the documentary in it, I'm on board for it. Yeah, Cody, I agree. American Vandal, more people need to see that. I'm trying to think, what was season 2? Because season 1 was the guy with, no. Okay, I got it. Season 1 was the dick guy, and season 2 was the person that put the stuff in the lemonade and they shit everywhere. But yeah, I don't know. I think all of the pieces of this are sort of falling into place. Yes, the turd burglar. Yeah, American Vandal, Nic Cage. I think that it has all of the right pieces. It's just curious what they come up with on the script and where it's going to be released and everything like that. I guess it's coming from CBS. I'd be more excited if it kind of went to, like, you know, a Netflix or something, kind of give them more freedom to kind of do whatever they wanted and whatnot. I'd be curious to see what that has in store. Oh my gosh, what is going on? No, we are not going
Can
to
you
break.
get-
Man, guys, I am so sorry. I am clicking every wrong button tonight. Let's see. Let me go down my rundown quick. We don't have any more movie news, I believe. Commercial break, Tiger King. Nope. No more movie news. So, on our rundown, let's get into how to review a movie. I know that, again, I mentioned that I've been doing YouTube for 3 years now, reviewing movies. I knew nothing. I didn't know how to review a movie, honestly. Like, if you go back and look at my new stuff or my old stuff, it's a complete train wreck. That's what it is. But I was kind of curious because a lot of people have been asking me questions, and I'm like, can I show some love? Can I give back to the people? You know, instead of people DMing me and whatnot, maybe I can make a video for them on how to essentially review a movie. You know, break it down, all of that stuff. So you know what? Let's get right into it. Let's get into how to review a movie because I know people out there are very much curious. They're wanting to start their own channels and everything. So you know what? I'm going to give the people what they want. So you want to learn how to review movies on YouTube, but you just don't know how. Well, look no further. With this 3-step program, you'll be able to go from average movie Bill to full-blown Disney shill. So sit back, relax, and thank you for choosing JB Learning Solutions, established 1983. The first thing you want to do in any review is the beginning or the intro. This is something where everyone that watches your video is going to see it first. When you do these intros, though, you want to do something witty or funny so your viewers can relate back to you. If they can relate to you, then you're going to get more viewers and they know that you're talking about the movie. Here's an example. You know they say, too hot for the kitchen, get out. Well, not this kitchen. Step 2 is then going to be your title screen. And these are usually very generic, and you want to use a lot of stock music. These are very easy to find on the websites. We're going to show a few examples, but yeah, you just want an easy template. Nothing too crazy. JB Learning Solutions bonus tip. If your intro has a film strip or one of those, one of those film clappers, then you're going to get more viewers because they know you're a movie fan. Step 3 after the title screen and generic music is the hardest part of your review. It's the intro, how you greet someone. And you usually want to say, hey, what's up? How's it going? But then here's the tough part. Right after that, you want to refer to your viewers as guys, film fans, or movie fans. Because this lets them know that you're talking about movies and you're friendly with them. You're calling them a nickname. Anything else will scare the viewers away because after your 45-second title screen, some of the viewers might forget what they're watching. Step 4 is where you introduce yourself. It's very easy to do, but sometimes people forget who they are. And bonus points, it helps if you have film in your name, screen in your name, movie in your name. That way, again, when people click and they're watching, they remember they're watching a movie review. Step number 5 is the call to action. This is the most important part of the review. You want to tell your viewers that you need to subscribe to your channel, and they need to click that subscribe button before even watching any of your video. A lot of viewers don't do this step, so they don't get any subscribers. And another bonus tip from JB Learning Solutions, we did some extensive research and found that you might have to gesture to tell your viewers where the subscribe button is. Sometimes it's hard for them to find it, so if you point and say that it's this big red button right down there, look, it's right down there. That way, they'll probably click that subscribe button more. Here's a quick break. As you can see, there's a lot of prep work that goes into putting a movie review together. I mean, we're already on step 6, and you haven't even had any indication that you even went to a movie. And this is great. This tension for the viewer and then you as a movie reviewer keeps that relationship, because the viewer's like, did this person see a movie? And as a reviewer, you're like, subscribe to my channel. This cat and mouse game is the core of how you grow and review movies on YouTube. Now step 6 is the tough part. You need to start talking about the movie, but not the movie specifically. You want to talk about your experience with the movie. So if you were able to get an early screening, or you got free stuff at the early screening, you need to complain about it, because this helps people know, the viewers, that you're human. You're just like them. An example is saying, man, I had to wait in line for an hour to see a free movie. Or, they didn't give me any popcorn at this free movie. These two examples show that you don't live in a perfect life, and you deal with struggles just like them. Step 7 is the meat of the review. We recommend reviewers sort of improv a bit. You know, there's the good, there's the mixed, and there's the bad. Those are the 3 you try to stick to in a review. But here's another bonus tip from JB Learning Solutions. If you use phrases like masterpiece, chewing the scenery, it's the Citizen Kane of, viewers will know that you are serious, and they will watch more of your reviews on YouTube. So be sure to add cinematography, masterpiece, any of these words into your reviews. Now after you finish the good, the mixed, and the bad, it's step 8. And step 8 is giving the movie a score. And there's 2 different ways here we recommend giving scores. You can do it the normal way with numbers that people very easily can relate to. Like, what does 1 out of 5 mean? What does 2.5 out of 5 mean? We get that. But if you're serious about reviewing movies on YouTube, you want to use the letter grading scale. A, B, C, D, F. These are a lot easier to grade if you're serious about reviewing movies on YouTube, because the viewer doesn't know what they mean, and don't worry, either do you. Does a C equal 75%? Does an F equal 0%? Who knows? In reality, no one does. And step 9 is essentially repeating steps 4 and 5, because that makes 9. The last and final thing is the end screen, but that comes in part 2 of the Learning Solutions for Design. This concludes part 1 of JB Learning Solutions, how to review a movie on YouTube. Following these unique 9 steps will make you, in turn, a unique movie reviewer, and you'll be able to stand out from all of those other movie reviewers on YouTube. None of them are following these 9 unique steps that JB Learning Solutions has set aside for you. That way, they won't have, for example, an intro. They won't know to tell someone to subscribe, or they won't give their movie a B or a B minus. Any of the letters. Now, if you want to continue your trip learning to be a great movie reviewer on YouTube, please insert the next VHS for part 2 to figure out what kind of design you need to put on your channel. Again, thanks for watching part 1 and choosing JB Learning Solutions, established 1983. Hopefully all of those tips were helpful for you guys. You know, I'm giving you guys all of those bonus tips. I'm giving you guys the perfect set of knowledge to be nothing but successful here on YouTube. How to review a movie on YouTube. If you follow all of those steps, you will gain success. Actually, a funny story about that video, or relating to that video. I filmed that 8 months ago. I was sitting at home today and I was like, man, what do I do for my 3-year anniversary? What do I do? And I realized I had that footage just sitting in a folder on my computer. So I was like, you know what? Throw it on there or whatever. Oh, God. Yeah, good stuff. And you know what? The thing is, it's a 3-volume set. So who knows when volume 2 or 3 is going to come out. But once you get your channel up and running and you get all of the success from how to review a movie on YouTube, then volume 2, it will be fast-tracked out there with even more bonus tips. Yeah, but the funny thing is that video was filmed a long time ago. Let's see here. What else do we have? I guess we have 10 minutes left. I just want to say, just kind of, reminisce, I want to say thank you so much for Volume 2 is actually a post-credit scene on New Mutants. Yeah, you guys gotta wait like 18 years for that movie to come out. But yeah, I've been doing this for 3 years. I think it's crazy. I mean, everyone that's here in the chat, that's hanging out and whatnot, thank you so much. I mean, obviously, I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys, for all of the constant watching, thumbs up, sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, making ridiculous jokes, laughing along with me. Thank you. I just want to say thank you because it means a lot. I just not even getting into the full story, but it's like this thing, you become an adult. And you don't like your job, and then you figure out that, oh, this is something that I'm good at, this is something that I like, and I do want this to be my, I would say, career. I don't know if YouTube, but being able to work with making stuff, movies, video, comedy, anything like that, that's my dream. So thank you guys for helping, supporting all of that stuff. People that have been on my podcast, people that have listened to my podcast, all of that stuff. I just absolutely love it. Like it's very much kind of a stress reliever for myself. Like the weird thing is, I talked to someone today and they're like, what'd you do all day? I woke up at 9 and I sat here in this chair crafting tonight's show, crafting the notes, all of the news stories and stuff, and I've been doing this for essentially now, it'll be 12 hours today, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like, I absolutely, this job, I'm supposed to be able to talk. I can't talk, but I absolutely love this, so thank you guys all for all of that stuff. I threw together kind of a quick clip show, kind of, I think it's like 3 minutes of just clips from my very first year on YouTube, some of the fun stuff. I think I missed a few because, again, it was rendering right when the show was about to get started. So I will kick over to the clip show. We will be back for maybe like 3 more minutes, maybe answer some questions, do some closing outs, let you know what's coming soon. But guys, thank you so much for 3 years. It's this thing where I'll sit down and maybe have a drink with friends and stuff, and they're like, well, what do you do now? Like, I can't stop. It's like I have 3 years invested in this. I'm going to ride this out and see what happens. Either I'm going to hit it big with success, I'm going to completely just crumble, or kill myself, one of the 3. I don't know. Whichever one's the easiest, I guess. But without further ado, let's get into some clips. What's up, guys? Jared here, yet again with Clear. I think I shit myself. Mr. President, the readings are off the chart. It looks like a geostorm. Save Martha! And cut. Are you sure you guys can remove this in post? Wow, the graphics in here are crazy. You can just reach out and grab everything. Oh, Spider-Man! Hey, Spider-Man! I'm gonna swing the cranes over for ya!
This is not going to go the way you think.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up.
Do you have the papers?
Yeah, I got like the papers you need, man.
And the beautiful princess f***ed the fishman, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Lotion, check. Kleenexes, check. 5-hour energy, check. Let's watch this trailer. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Jared. What's up, guys? Jared here with another movie review. What's up, guys? Jared here with another movie review. But there's absolutely no chance I'm seeing this movie.
This is great.
I'm so turned on right now. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go. So yeah, just some crazy fun stuff from the very first like 6 months to a year of my channel. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, some people are like, oh, he's just putting on an act, and apparently ever since the very beginning I was doing all those weird sketches and skits and all of that stuff. Yeah, the whistle outro and the intro and all that stuff, completely different, upgraded graphics and all of that stuff. A few of the clips, though, I have some fun backstories. I couldn't find all the clips in the backstories that I wanted to say, but 3 of them that I remember. The one where I'm eating the banana. everyone, like, in the comments and whenever I would post on social media, people are like, why are you eating a banana that's so green? So apparently I was eating a very green banana. I didn't know that it was too green to eat. So that one very much, like, borderline offended people. That was for my Planet of the Apes review, War for the Planet of the Apes. And I remember I wanted to get that review done, and I was late to a wedding. So I had to go, and I didn't even have a banana. So I drove to the grocery store, bought a banana, came back, filmed the intro, and while it was rendering, I went and took a shower, and I was like 5 minutes late to the wedding. So that's a funny story behind the banana intro. 2 is the one where I'm wearing the headset for Ready Player One, and, you know, I'm feeling imaginary things. That intro, I was dating someone at the time, and we got into a huge argument and fight because of that intro. She said that it was borderline cheating because I was putting a headset on and I was doing that for an intro. So I was in hot water after doing that intro for Ready Player One. And then another intro was the one where I'm, like, chugging the vodka, and it's Kickstart My Heart playing, and I think it was for a Bad Mom's Christmas. That shot that you see in that review is actually the third take of me dumping water all over myself, because the first one, or the first 2, I want to say, I didn't click record, or it didn't record sound, or something happened. So I poured all of that water on myself, and I had to do it 2 more times. So in between each shot, I had to go and dry my clothes. So the clothes that I'm wearing, that was the third shot of that drinking water, essentially, intro. So yeah, that's some fun backstories behind how long the reviews took and how, like, essentially committed to the bit I was for those intros and everything like that. That's definitely some behind the scenes stuff. Like, honestly, Mark, I could go through every single intro and remember what I was doing that day, what was going through my mind, and the absolute just behind the scenes garbage that I ran into in each of the shoots, but, you know, committed to it. Let's see here. We have a question. Yeah, before we close up, I'm going to answer a couple questions. Question for you from Cody. What's your favorite side gag, idea, edit, effect, or bit of writing that you're especially proud to have used? Oh my gosh, that is a very loaded question. I mean, even going back to the very beginning, I was doing all of that. I taught myself how to edit. Like, some people think that I went to school for it. I taught myself how to edit with all of those little gags and stuff. I think the videos that I'm most proud of that unfortunately got no love or views or anything at all are the ranking videos that I did under a certain time, where essentially I keyframed all of the graphics and hid little tiny things in all of the videos. Those videos, especially all of them, have the most hidden Easter eggs in those videos. So I think that that's probably the most proud, because they took so long to do, and I taught myself how to essentially animate. It's not that great. It's stick figures and cutting and photoshopping and stuff. I think that those videos are probably the coolest thing I've done. I very much took ideas of that with the writing and some of the editing, and have put that into my Ending Explained Poorly's. So I would say that those definitely probably are number one. Cody, that is a fantastic question. If I had more time to think about it, I definitely would have a better answer, or figure out, like, little tiny things that I've done. Believe me, there's, like, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that no one sees. Even that video just right now, I'm gonna post the cutout of it tomorrow. But the how to review a movie on YouTube, if you read the disclaimer at the bottom, there's stuff hidden in that as well. So it's those little, like, 2-second gags that I think are my favorite that I like to do. We also brought a banana for the ride home review. Yeah, anyone that is familiar with the very old videos on my channel like 2.5, 3 years ago. Seth and Cody here in the chat, they also contributed. They did a kind of a longer form review called The Ride Home, and it was just so fun. We didn't know what we were doing, but it was a great, they had a great concept. I had a great concept. They then started their podcast, which they're very much approaching 3 years as well. So if you're looking for a great podcast, jump over and listen to the SoCo Show. I've been on their podcast like the last 5-6 weeks. I think that they're getting tired of me, but I will then again be on it this week as well. Yeah, crazy stuff. Favorite Kubrick film? I'd have to bring up a list of Kubrick, Dorito Chip Gamer, but right off the top of my head, I'm going to say probably The Shining. I haven't seen Eyes Wide Shut. I know people kind of bring that one up. I don't know if it's his best, but they always kind of talk about that one. I will say, people that are still listening and watching right now, I will have a formal, like maybe hour-long Ask Me Anything live, Ask Me Anything on Thursday, I believe. I will be posting more about that in the coming hours. Honestly, I'll probably do it after this, make a graphic and whatnot. So all of your questions, if you have more questions, you can send them to me on Twitter, YouTube, anything like that. Otherwise, just tune in live, and I'll answer those questions as well. Colin Williams, what's going on, Colin? How did you become so good looking? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All of my exes don't think that, but thank you. I am hopefully growing into myself. I am very much I was ID'd. I wasn't even ID'd. I was asked the other week. Oh, this is probably 6 months ago. Or actually, it's been a year. It's been a year. Last year, I was asked how prom was. So I very much apparently look like a high schooler to many people. But thank you. Thank you so much for that. The other JB, yeah, Jill Buckendahl, my sister, will be on the podcast. And then also we will be recording a Movies and Nonsense Patreon exclusive episode as well this week for the podcast. So yeah, anyways though, I'm 5 minutes over. I'm not going to let my computer explode anymore, but next week we'll be back together with a completely new episode, all of that stuff. Obviously some technical difficulties. I had to reformat my computer. All of that crap, whatever. Technical difficulties, you're going to run into that. Be on the lookout. I might just completely randomly stream some video games any random time. So if you want to watch, jump in there and talk some movies, talk some video games, anything like that. There's going to be spontaneous streams, which just sounds very gross, but there's going to be some on the JBuck Studios channel. Yeah, Seth is getting naked on the podcast this week. So if you want to see naked Seth, tune in for that. But anyways, guys, without further ado, hopefully I don't have anything else clicked, but we are going to hit the outro, and we will see you guys later. Thank you again for 3 years. It's been crazy, and here's to the next 3 or 4 or 10 or whatever, wherever this life takes me. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Oh, my gosh. Right before we go, Cody, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy 3 years. Thanks for the laughs. Absolutely. No, thank you, man, for sticking around and hanging out and contributing and all of that stuff. Thank you guys so much. Here's to, again, another 3 years, and we will see you guys next week.